Hello everyone, my name is He. It's spelled as He, and that's it. Yes, it is my name. It is not my pronoun.
Mastering comedy is no easy task, but He Huang effortlessly proved her comedic brilliance on the Australia's Got Talent stage in 2022. Her deadpan style and witty jokes had the judges in stitches, leaving everyone thoroughly entertained. Not afraid to be controversial, He managed to go viral with a 3.5-minute set that has been described as the funniest ever AGT audition to date. While her journey as a comedian after Australia's Got Talent wasn't without its challenges, He Huang has undeniably proven herself as one of the best up-and-coming comedians to watch out for. In less than a year, she's managed to carve a remarkable place for herself in the comedy world, setting her on a path to even greater success. So, let's take a look at exactly what He Huang from Australia's Got Talent is up to now in 2023.
As you can tell from my outfit, I was made in China. Anyone else? Okay, I guess just those tables and chairs.
Born in Chongqing, China, He Huang spent most of her childhood in her country before moving to the United States to complete her education. He Huang's digital footprint from her childhood is relatively scarce, which she attributes to a combination of factors. Growing up in China in the 90s limited her digital presence, and her busy school schedule left little time for other pursuits. He was academically gifted and completed her Bachelor's of Arts in English Translation and Interpretation from the Minji University of China in 2012. On the other hand, He Huang has always been passionate about active volunteer work. In 2009 and 2010, she volunteered as a teacher in Junior Achievement China and at the Hong Kong Wave 5 Foundation. Her commitment to making a difference in the community is truly inspiring. He studied political science and government as an exchange student at the sunny Old Westbury for a year in 2011. This was before she eventually moved on to complete her graduate degree in public policy analysis from the Georgetown University McCourt School of Public Policy. Throughout her time at that institute, He actively oversaw and worked with multiple non-profit organizations and research teams to lead and participate in initiatives that help the public. She also worked as a teaching assistant at a university from 2013 to 2015. After completing her education, He decided to do comedy gigs part-time. One possible reason for her passion in comedy might have been to challenge her parents, who didn't see comedy as a fulfilling career choice. She also revealed that her dad had once called her a lowlife when she showed him a picture of her doing a set in Shanghai. He often jokes about the unexpected turn in her career trajectory. Despite initially aiming to become a politician upon arriving in the US, fate had other plans, leading her down a different path towards comedy. While working as a consultant at the World Bank Group, her passion for humor took root, paving the way for her successful journey in the world of comedy. He began a dedicated side hustle in the form of comedy, and to her surprise, the audience really enjoyed it. Her deadpan style and manner of delivering the punchline resonated with the audience, and what appealed to them even more was the originality of her jokes. Most of He's comedy is centered around her own experiences with her country and culture, and even then, women from all over the world find themselves reflected and represented in her stories. In her comedy skits, He often talks about her Chinese upbringing and how culturally different her home country is to Australia, where she now resides. In 2019, she came to Australia and was taken aback by the incredible diversity she found there. The country's vibrant multiculturalism left her genuinely amazed. One fascinating aspect of He's journey, particularly as a Chinese, has been navigating language barriers whenever she moved to a new place. As an immigrant, He revealed that one of the many ways she learned English was by watching comedians like Russell Peters, and so the habit stuck. Currently, she's working as the project administrative assistant at AI English, a platform that allows students all over China to get English tutoring lessons. All of this, on top of managing her budding comedy career, does not seem especially easy, but it's something that she seems to pull off quite effortlessly. Before we move on to He's immersive and controversial Australia's Got Talent journey, let's talk about how her career was already on the rise before she came on the talent competition show. She revealed that before coming on Australia's Got Talent, she was already booked up until the end of the year, including another TV appearance. She credits it all to her hard work, the fact that she does a gig practically every night, and the fact that it's pretty rare to see a Chinese woman doing comedy definitely does help her career. According to her, every bookster is eager to have her in their room, and the comedy industry is filled with people who genuinely appreciate her talent and humor. Despite receiving praise and acclaim for her Australia's Got Talent performance, He Huang eventually became a target for trolling and hate. The hate train didn't begin until later, after her set had gone viral worldwide. Initially, her delivery and punchlines earned admiration, and the judges' laughter highlighted the uniqueness of her jokes, which gained her widespread support. As for the deadpan style that resonated so well with audiences, that was an accident. According to He, she didn't actively want to adopt that tone in a comedy. On stage, He Huang aims to exude energy and vibrancy, but at times during gigs, she unexpectedly feels tired, causing her pitch to change. To improve her performances, she's taking improv classes. But if the audience appreciates her current style, she doesn't feel the need to make drastic changes. Based in Sydney and working part-time in the Bilingual Education Administration, He has become a target for Chinese nationalist trolling for insulting the country. The clip of her audition has garnered 6 million views on YouTube alone, not to mention the countless TikTok videos and Instagram reels the incident produced. Perhaps the viral success of her audition is what thrust He Huang into the spotlight and caused her to be embroiled in controversy just a week after it aired. Despite getting flooded with positive comments from all over the world, one particular country was not happy with He's jokes. The jokes seemed demeaning, and some even thought that He was just making a speech about China and its cultural practices, not performing a stand-up. He revealed that out of her parents, only her dad really understands what she does. Her mum and other people their age, on the other hand, don't necessarily understand that her jokes are not a serious commentary on China. Turns out a few days after her audition was aired, a Chinese user on the popular Chinese social media platform Weibo had posted screenshots from the audition and translated her jokes quite literally. This landed her into a bit of a pickle, as a few of her jokes got lost in translation. One of these jokes was related to the pandemic, which He sarcastically apologized for in her set. In the translated images, however, the sarcasm didn't come through, and the Chinese viewers who came across the joke assumed she was actually apologizing on behalf of the country. Interestingly enough, most of He Huang's comedy revolves around addressing the subtle racism she encounters in her everyday life. However, it can be challenging for her when these subversive jokes are misunderstood or taken out of context, as she wants to convey her messages in a way that resonates with her audience. She also said that she didn't even know that her set had gone viral until a friend asked her if she was okay, and she saw mean comments in Chinese posted on her Instagram. Another joke that did not land well with the Chinese audience was where she talked about herself as a leftover Chinese lady who was cheap, and people assumed that she had called all Chinese ladies cheap. A few days later, a well-known blogger in China stepped in and made a post that accurately translated He Huang's jokes while providing essential context behind them. The post eventually went viral as well and helped take some of the heat off He and her audition. This clarification shed light on the intention and subversive nature of her humor, helping to address the initial misunderstandings and misinterpretations of her jokes. The resulting outpour of love from a Chinese audience made her comment that perhaps she might not have been that controversial after all. Now, 5 years after embarking on a comedy journey as a side hustle, He Huang has found a balance between her day job and her passion for comedy. She now juggles both, working her day job while also performing in comedy gigs 5 times a week, showcasing a dedication to the comedy. After her viral audition, which boosted her views and helped to get noticed by millions of people, He has only just begun her journey as a comedian. In a significant step forward, He Huang has taken her comedy on the road this year, embarking on her first solo show. Despite her achievements, her Chinese mum still perceives her comedy as a mere hobby rather than a serious pursuit. Nevertheless, He remains determined to showcase her talent and passion to a wider audience through her solo performances. He Huang's comedy career has been on a soaring trajectory, evident from her performance at the prestigious Melbourne International Comedy Festival in April 2023. Her show received favorable reviews, indicating that she was making a mark and gaining recognition in the comedy world. He's comedy continues to thrive on her unique and relatable experiences, including being raised in a traditional Chinese family in a small city. Her ability to subvert societal expectations and present her life with wit and authenticity has endeared her to her audience. Despite her growing popularity, she remains true to her style of comedy, knowing that her audience appreciates her just the way she is. Recently, He Huang finished touring in Australia and shared on her Instagram that she's now considered the cool bean among her family and friends. It appears she may have quit her day job as she refers to her former colleagues on social media. Her comedy career seems to be taking off, and she's embracing the exciting changes in her life. So, it seems like He Huang is living her best life, trying to become the next great comedian we all talk about. In an interview after her time on Australia's Got Talent, she said she wasn't expecting to become a great comedian like Dave Chappelle overnight. But even so, her experience on the show was a great introduction for her intro into the comedy world.